Not too long, Osun State shall get to that promised land.
He also seized the opportunity to reassure the Muslim community of his unwavering commitment, citing ongoing projects such as the nearing completion of the Osun State Arch Camp and the approved construction of a mosque at the government house, affirming that his government support is both genuine and actionable.
Thank Almighty Allah that our government, we don't just talk. Our government is talk and do. We made a promise. Immediately we found out that we didn't even know that Osun State doesn't have RG camp. I said, what? And we immediately the next day we just came over like play, I mean, chairman, and then we laid the foundation. Here we are today to thank God Almighty that it has gone to advanced stage.
In his closing remark, Governor Adeleke expressed appreciation to all religious leaders for their constant prayers and guidance, while he offered special prayers for the pilgrims, wishing them a safe journey and spiritually rewarding Hajj. Earlier in his remarks, the State Commissioner for Home Affairs, Mr. Rashid Adeleke, appreciated the good gesture and support of the governor to over 1,221 pilgrims, comprising of 694 males and 527 females. The commissioner, who also echoed the governor's message, highlighted the extensive preparation made towards the pilgrim's journey, just as he lauded the governor's assistance on accommodation, feeding arrangement and healthcare facilities, among others, made available for the pilgrims.
Our pilgrims, male and female, have been provided with uniform, dress, ankara, bags, 3 pieces, ziyara, touring historical places in both Makkah and Medina, etc. Also, decent accommodation has been secured for the pilgrims in Saudi Arabia. More importantly, arrangement has been made for medical and welfare for pilgrims throughout the period of Hajj exercise.
Also in his remarks, Chairman of Osun State Muslim Pilgrim Welfare Board, Dr. Morif Ishola, thanked the governor for his support for the board at all times. Dr. Ishola described that Governor Adeleke had released funds for free drugs for the pilgrims, monetary allowance at Arafah, payment for transportation from Osogbo to Lagos, and visit to historical places in Saudi Arabia. Present at the gathering were the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, the matriarch of the Adeleke dynasty, Yegemodupe Adeleke Soni, and other members of the State Executive Council, among others. It has been Oluwa Tobiloba Odunuga reporting.
The federal government has signed a $158.15 million financing deal for the value chain program in northern Nigeria as part of ongoing efforts to revolutionize the agriculture sector. Speaking during the signing of the financing agreement, Vice President Kashim Shettima described the initiative as a product of critical thinking about the economic reality of the North. In a statement issued by its media aide, Stanley Nwokocha, the Vice President said the initiative is a fulfillment of the promise made by the present administration to reduce poverty and restore dignity to farmers and ensure food security. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, said the deal represents a significant milestone in the efforts to transform the agricultural landscape in Nigeria. Kyari noted that the participation of Borno, Bauchi, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states and the presence of other critical stakeholders underscore the commitment of the subnationals and the federal government in fostering inclusivity in agricultural development and economic development. The Federal Ministry of Education has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Rural Electrification Agency under the federal government's Energizing Education program to provide 24-hour electricity on campuses. The signing ceremony took place at the solar-powered mini-grid site of the University of Abuja, which is one of the beneficiaries of the transformative initiative. Speaking at the event, Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa, stated that under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, the government remains fully committed to expanding human capital development through the provision of reliable and sustainable energy infrastructure in the education sector. The minister said one of the president's top priorities is ensuring 24-hour electricity supply to all federal and state-owned tertiary institutions. Dr. Alausa announced that the federal government is constructing mini-grid systems ranging from 1.1 to 12.5 megawatts across federal tertiary institutions. He, however, stated that the project had wide-reaching benefits for education and the economy. The Nigeria Governor Spouses Forum has urged the federal government and their husbands to declare a state of emergency on drug abuse and illicit trafficking. The declaration was part of their resolutions in a communique read by the wife of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Dapo Abiodun, on behalf of the chairperson of the forum, the wife of Kwara State Governor, Professor Olufolake Abdulrazak. The communique was issued at the end of a training workshop organized by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in collaboration with the NGSF in Abuja. The forum said this would engender national ownership of the drug problem for the mobilization of resources to dismantle the menace. The forum added that urgent, concerted and pragmatic efforts are required considering the complex public health issues and security challenges Nigeria is witnessing, which is fueled largely by the use of drugs. The governor's spouses, however, declared their support for the war against drugs at the state level and promised to ensure the initiative gets down to communities in their domains. The federal government has called for an overhaul of military tactics to address Nigeria's worsening insecurity. The Senate resolved to hold a two-day national security summit to brainstorm a solution to the rising wave of killings and other forms of insecurity in the country. The decision followed a motion sponsored by Senator Jimoh Ibrahim at the resumption of plenary, following a fresh wave of deadly attacks that claimed the lives of an army captain and a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Borno and Benue. Speaking during the ministerial briefing in Abuja, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, questioned the relevance of the Senate's proposed National Security Summit, arguing instead for renewed strategy. Badaru also dismissed the idea that terrorists possess superior firepower compared to the Nigerian military, insisting that the nation's armed forces are better equipped. On domestic efforts to enhance Nigeria's military self-reliance, Badaru revealed that 10 of the 53 companies under the Defense Industrial Complex have commenced production of drones, aircraft components, helmets, and safety vests. He said the government targets at least 20 firms to be fully operational by this year end, with exports beginning in 2026. Now from the world of sports, following the Flying Eagles qualification for the next round, head coach Ali Zubairu has emphasized the need to immediately shift focus to what he considers the most crucial match of the tournament. Although their quarter-final opponent is yet to be determined, Zubairu is threatening the upcoming fixture with utmost seriousness, as he believes that the quarter-final is the most important match of the competition. He added that the team needs to work on their mindset and ensure they are focused on the task ahead, with the determination to reach the World Cup. Meanwhile, the four semi-finalists of the AFCON Under-20 tournament will secure a spot to represent Africa at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. And now from the foreign scene, Syria's interim president Ahmad al-Shara said the country is holding indirect talks with Israel to prevent recent hostilities from getting out of control. President al-Shara disclosed this when he met with the French president Emmanuel Macron, who said he would push the European Union and US to lift sanctions on Syria to boost its economy. Macron also called for continued US and international military presence in Syria to fight terrorist groups threatening security in the Middle East and Europe. The Syrian leader's visit to Paris comes a week after clashes between forces loyal to al-Shara and fighters from the minority Druze sect that left nearly 100 people dead. Report says Israel carried out a series of airstrikes on parts of Syria last week, saying it aims to protect the country's Druze minority from coming under attack by pro-government gunmen. That ends the media news on OSBC TV. Join us at 3 for the state's news. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.